There are 3 levels of instructional design that support the creation of an online course that have an underlying management discipline of project management. These 3 components include 1. The instructional design process, IDP. 2. The instructional design systems, IDS. And 3. The instructional design capabilities, IDC. This model was created by Brad so that people could better understand what is involved in the development of an online course. Each one of these elements contributes to the development of a more mature level of online design. The better defined the process and deployment of the system components, the greater the likelihood that the desired ID capabilities will be achieved. The first component is the instructional design process. The instructional design process is a long-standing process that has been in use for as long as most could remember and is still used, or should be used, by organizations who are involved in the development of traditional or instructor-led courses. When developing an online course, however, there are several items that need to be included in this process that are not listed in the traditional approach or not listed in detail in order to ensure that the process supports the desired online training outcome. The following section outlines the process steps required in the development of a course. They consist of 5 phases and is used by most in the industry. ADDIE: Analyze, Design, Develop, Implement, and Evaluate. This is the first series of steps in the process for developing an online course. As with any type of development, you must first develop the foundation on which, in this case, the online course could be built. The second component is the instructional design systems. As we walk through the instructional design process, we notice that there are areas of development that require the entering of data into a system or multiple systems. These systems are called the instructional design systems, and all online courses require some or all of these tools in order to successfully develop an online course. It is critical to remember that when incorporating the systems and tools into the development process, that inputs and outputs of each technology need to be considered. What this means is that not all systems will work well together and thus potentially create technical issues. Brad will better explain this later on in the session. The following model illustrates the order in which the technologies are being used as we move through the life cycle of the e-course development. Each technology plays its part not only along the cycle, but also across the layers of ID. Brad will again explain this further on. Without the proper tools, the instructional design process and your instructional design capabilities are greatly compromised in supporting the online world. Your capabilities in classroom differ from your capabilities in the virtual world because you are relying on technology to get your message across. With the traditional instructional design process being for in-class materials development, the systems and tools required were really only Word document processing tools such as WordPerfect and the Microsoft suite of products. These tools are mass-marketed and very inexpensive to acquire. When you move to developing materials to be distributed in the virtual world, the level of required technology increases immensely. And if you want to create dynamic and interactive online learning, even more so. This is due to the fact that traditional instructional design process enables the instructor-led courses with an ability to make best use of the various pedagogy approaches without the need to technology, because they are present in the same room with the learner, and through simple observations such as body language, gesturing, as well as direct communication and other forms of interaction, the instructor is able to gauge the learner's understanding and adapt their learning approaches. In an online environment, these approaches need to capture what is done within a classroom setting to the best of its ability. In order to do this, systems and tools are required that surpass what is readily available to the common person. Once a person has access to these technologies, there is still the need to understand how to incorporate the content, the instructional design, and the technologies together to produce the desired result. The understanding of these processes and the ability to integrate them is key to being successful with the further development of the online course, but the work is just beginning. The third level of development taps into the capabilities of the online instructional designer. The difference between a traditional instructional design and an online instructional design is the level of capabilities as it pertains to transforming content into online content using the technologies available. These capabilities in the online world are known as the instructional design capabilities. The next component is the Instructional Design Capabilities, IDC. From Wikipedia. Capability. A capability is what a company or organization needs to be able to do to execute its strategy. Another way to think about capabilities is a container of people, process, and technology that is addressable for a specific purpose. When developing an online course, it is important to also understand all levels of instructional design, but being successful is the ability to move those theories into results. Instructional design capabilities are the main infrastructure of tangible course development, the to-dos. This is where all the systems and tools are used by the course technicians to start building the framework, the elements, the activities, and the outcomes that make up a good online course. Some instructional designers consider that by incorporating graphics and the use of an authoring tool would automatically create a great online course, but this is obviously not the case. The best results is in our ability to successfully move materials through to an end product by following all processes defined by the Instructional Design Maturity Model, helping capture the essence of the content, enhancing the ability of a learner to retain the information through proper learning techniques, and of course, how to best make use of the knowledge. All of this must be built using the right technologies, with the right developers who understand the product's inputs and outputs, and who have the capabilities in all levels of instructional design to move the product through the process. A typical instructional design methodology still focuses mainly on a single-dimensional process, but in the virtual world, we need to be thinking more three-dimensional, multiple levels, and integration of the learning approaches.